Okay, so let me just see for those of you who are in a marriage type of situation, okay? Um, there is something here that indicates to me that in a work environment, if you're working with a big organization, a big institution, there is also a need for you to be a little bit of a conformist this month. If you are dealing with family institutions like family members, parents, family, people you are married to, there is also a need for you to curb what you have to say or to like minimize the conflict in this environment coming in for this month. What I'm also sensing is that for those of you who are like students, for example, you want to persevere, you want to push a little bit harder, and so don't give up, okay? So if you're like going through final season and if you have like things that it just seems really tedious and really boring, it's telling you to persevere, it's telling you to push toward forward, and you're going to get a better outcome, all right? I don't feel both of these cards alone, like they're not negative cards, and together it just seems to me that there is an energy here that you want to go against the grain, you want to go against the tide, but I do feel being a little bit more of a conformist is going to be very, very beneficial for you. And it's mainly telling you to persevere, to push through, and to also do things by the book. You might be inclined to cut corners. You might see other people around you in your work environment cutting corners, especially. So I do feel that it's really important for you to do things by the book. What I'm also feeling is that for a lot of you who are returning to school, you are learning some skills that is going to help you greatly later on in whatever job, whatever field you are looking to apply to, or you're looking to inject yourself in, or you're looking to like work at. You're building up some skills right now. So for the rest of, especially this month, it's about revisiting. It's about doing things the right way so that you get it the first time. And then after you get it, then you can go ahead and do your creative stuff. But in terms of this month, do things by the book. Don't cut corners because there might be ramifications. Okay. Um, Overall career and success, we have some very, very good cards here. This is a really, really powerful month for you to execute some type of a plan, Libras. So we have the Alchemist, which is the Magician, as well as the Chariot. The Magician is somebody who is very, very knowledgeable. They have like a little bit of magic about them. They can make a new situation out of something that has, outlived its use. So, for example, what I'm feeling is this. This is like making something great out of nothing, okay? What I'm sensing for a lot of you is I feel like a lot of you have recently put an end to something. Either it's a job, either it's a career, either it's a person like a relationship partner. A lot of you have ended something and you're starting a new phase in your life. And you feel like you don't really have the adequate skills and you don't have the skills or you don't have the knowledge. So you are expanding your knowledge. So in that way, it's telling me that you have to go through like traditional channels in order to expand your knowledge, okay? And you have to do things by the book. But it's also telling me that, on the heels of something ending, you're kind of like rattled and you're not really sure what you want to do next. You're not really sure what you should do, and you're not really sure if you can pick yourself up and start over. And this is basically telling you, both of these cards together, you have all the tools that you need in order for you to start over. And if you just take the step in the right direction and start anew, you are going to have a lot of help along the way from the external environment, from the universe, from people in your periphery. Not only that, you are a lot more capable than you give yourself credit for. So you really need to like approach this with a lot of self-confidence, as if, I actually know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for it and ask questions later. So I do feel that this is a month for you to put yourself on display, to put yourself out there, to exercise or execute those plans that you have on the back burner, and to really show other people what you're made of, okay? So this is like, you have everything that you need. You are very, very methodical, Libras. Out of all the air signs, you are the most concentrated, deliberate, and the least scattered. So you know how to direct your energy in many, many ways. So I do feel that this is not the month for you to try to accumulate shallow knowledge. So it's not about being the jack of all trades. It's not about learning something on a very superficial, on a very shallow basis. It's about diving deep and understanding something ins and outs of how something works in order for you to focus your energy. Okay, so don't scatter. Focus your energy. Find something that drives your passion. Focus on it exclusively, and you are going to get a lot of success further down the line as a result of it. All right. In terms of the financial situation, we do have the High Priestess as well as the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the High Priestess usually indicates to me something that is hidden, either some fine print in the contracts, business contracts, sales contracts, some type of document that is might be missing in your work environment, some really, really important stipulations that a lot of people might have overlooked in the work environment. It is really important for you to read the fine print, not make any errors. And I know this is standard Mercury in retrograde, but I feel like keep your documents close to you. If you are dealing with confidential information, you want to make sure it's not being revealed it's not being like brought into the light, okay, is what I'm feeling. It can be very hurtful for your reputation. It can also damage the credibility of the work that you're trying to do. I feel that you have a lot of, you're privy to like very, very, confidential information, and a very small group of people have access to the information here, mainly because of the Magician. So make sure that it doesn't get out. Be very clear before you send out messages that you attach, when you send messages or emails, that you attach the right information. Okay, double check. It's going to save you further down the line. Now, I feel that in terms of the work environment, I feel like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of like busy energy in your work environment. The work environment itself seems a little bit chaotic to me. So I feel like you might be working in a big company with a lot of people around. It's noisy. It's hard for you to stay focused. So find ways to tune it out, either by like, bringing headphones to work. I don't know if that's allowed in your company, but listen to music while you're doing the work, but try not to, make mistakes. Try not to get distracted. But I feel like the work environment itself is not giving you peace of mind, mainly because there's a lot to do. There's a lot of people in it. It seems to me to be very hierarchical. It seems to be like almost patriarchal as well. So for those of you women in a work environment, I feel like you might feel a little bit left out or sidelined, but I do want you to work with this energy. Like it's a very yang type of energy within your work environment. And I do sense that, it would be in your best interest to kind of like keep yourself under wraps or keep working diligently. Don't worry about what other people are saying. There might be like, information left and right, like people gossiping even. You're hearing or you're catching wind of this information, and it's really important for you to like, don't let it disturb you. Don't let it like, funk up your energy level, and don't let it mess with the way that you think or mess with the way that you perceive other people are receiving you, okay? So don't get distracted on the work front with things that are not work related, and keep yourself low and, keep a low profile. Keep focus as well on small, minor details, especially if it pertains to paperwork and contracts, okay? In terms of your overall, I feel like this is more, I'm not really sure where this is going, but let's talk about both of these cards. Okay, so what I'm feeling first is this is more of the relationship situation. And I'm seeing two possible scenarios here. So let's talk about this first. The Devil card indicates to me, this is like addiction. This is basically addiction to a way of life, addiction to a way of behaving, Also addiction to, physical substances. Okay. So a lot of you, this is something that you are going to be grappling with in yourself or within other people that you love. You are seeing some type of addiction playing out in the people in your environment, and it's making it very difficult for you to not speak up. Okay. So you're trying to, you're all about balance and things like that. So if somebody is behaving in a way where they are like, on a power trip where they feel like they have to put others down in order to make themselves feel good, you are in a position now where you're just like, oh, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm going to stand up for this person because they can't stand up for themselves. So I feel like a little bit of a whistleblower energy about you coming in for this month, where you're fighting for the underdog, where you are actually helping others see that their behavior is not okay. Their behavior is not kind. Their behavior is not socially or even like morally acceptable. So I do feel that you are fighting. You are a cause for justice this month. I do feel there might be some backlash, and I feel that there will be some backlash. In a normal setting, I feel that you're very, very, go with the flow and very like live and let live, and you don't want to rock the boat. But I feel like there is some weird Mercury in retrograde energy where I feel like this is an unexpected side to Libras, where you want things to be fair, and if a situation is not fair, you will kick up a fuss, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to warn you, there is going to be some backlash here in terms of conflict coming through from the other person to make your life a little bit more difficult. And I want you to anticipate that now, so that when you are in a position where you feel like, I need to say something about this situation because it's not fair, plan out how you want to say it. Don't say things. It's never a good time to say things when we're angry. So try to find a way to soften it so that you are well received, so that you can avoid the backlash. Okay. That's what I'm sensing. For others of you who are in a relationship, and I feel like this might be, if you're in a relationship, I don't know exactly who you're with until I pull out the love deck. But what I'm sensing is you might be in a relationship where you don't really get along with the other person, like philosophically, just intellectually, verbally, you don't really have very much in common. You don't really get along with the other person, but you have a very strong sense of physical chemistry, sexual chemistry here. And it's in your best interest to try to balance this out, to see if it can be balanced out. Otherwise, it just seems to me like a toxic relationship. Okay. In terms of your advice, we have here the King of Swords, the Hermit, and the Eight of Swords. Let's just talk about overall what's happening here. I feel like a lot of you are in a position where you're being kept in the dark about something. I feel like somebody is withholding information, and I feel that you're kept in the dark about a situation. And for those of you where this is playing out in a work environment, I feel like there's some digging that you need to do. And this means, looking up company policies, looking up like company practices just to cover your trail, or to like protect yourself. Okay. If you are like in a probationary work situation and somebody is like telling you have to work like 50, 60 hours and they're dumping responsibilities on you, for example, it's really important to look at company guidelines and find ways to get yourself out of this, because I feel like you're not being treated fairly, and you are like that is not fair. That they have no right to do this to you. So look up company policies. It will be, a good asset for you when you have to, defend yourself. Okay. So things are not what they seem. And I feel like you have ways to get yourself out of this situation, but I feel you're hesitant. So once again, execute some plans, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Whatever you need to do to change a situation, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't shy from conflict. Just do it, and you're going to get a very good outcome, okay? In terms of your spiritual advice here, what I do feel is Don't play the victim, play the victor, okay? And you have some divine protection here. You have your spirit guides are guiding you in the right direction. You have some information that will be revealed to you throughout the course of this month that will that will give you the upper hand, okay? So I feel like in the meantime, try to lay low and try to figure out what you need to do. And then towards the end of the month, when the information comes through, when the insight comes through, it's going to be like a flash of lightning. It's going to be out of the blue, and you're going to have that information in order for you to like play the role of the victor. Okay. So the first week, what I'm feeling is, you know, that whole stay calm and do things by the book. I feel rules and regulations, they might have been restrictive in the past. They're actually going to help you to achieve some important goal coming in for this month, okay? Information coming to light, at least you are getting some spiritual guidance that will guide you on the right path for you to take, all right? So Libras, hang in there. It's going to be a little bit rough, but I do feel finances are looking very good for you guys.